What if I told you, the tingling in your hands, that strange weakness creeping into your legs, and the stiff knees that seem to resist every step, aren't just part of getting older. They might be your body's quiet way of asking for something it's been losing, year after year, without you even realizing it. You see, after age 60, something dramatic happens inside us. Collagen, that silent, invisible protein holding your joints, tendons, and even your nerves together, starts to fade. By 70, nearly 40% of it is gone, and every year your legs feel just a little weaker. Your hands tingle a bit more, your knees ache a bit longer after walking. Edward, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Kansas, thought this was just normal aging, until one small slip in his backyard changed everything. That fall revealed just how fragile his legs had become, and how little strength he had left. But Edward's story doesn't end there, because what he discovered wasn't a magic pill or some expensive therapy, but 8 simple fruits that quietly helped him rebuild the very structure of his body from the inside out. Today, I want to share those same 8 fruits with you. Fruits that science now shows can restore collagen, strengthen your legs, ease the tingling, and give you back a part of yourself you thought was gone. Let's begin this journey together. Before you can rebuild anything, you must awaken what's been sleeping. That's precisely what Amla does. Edward's nutritionist daughter called it the gentle switch, because after years of his body slowly forgetting how to produce collagen, Amla was like the morning sun, softly reminding his system how to start again. Amla, or Indian gooseberry, has been treasured for thousands of years in Ayurvedic medicine. But today, modern science is catching up. Just 100 grams of Amla hold 10 times more vitamin C than an orange. But why does that matter for your legs and hands? Because vitamin C isn't just a nice vitamin, it's the spark your body uses to create procollagen, the raw material needed for tendons, joints, and nerve coverings. In Edward's case, something shifted in the first 2 weeks of adding Amla to his mornings. A small glass of Amla juice before breakfast. So morning stiffness in his fingers eased. The tingling that once made buttoning his shirt difficult began to fade. Researchers have found that Amla activates enzymes like lysyl hydroxylase, which help stabilize collagen fibers, making them stronger and more flexible. Exactly what aging muscles and joints desperately need. Even more importantly, Amla carries powerful antioxidants, gallic acid and ellagic acid, shielding Edward's remaining collagen from the silent attack of inflammation. It's not dramatic, it doesn't happen overnight, but like the gentle warming of spring after winter, Amla quietly lays the first stone, preparing your body for more profound healing. And that brings us to the second fruit, one that builds a protective shield over this fragile foundation. What's the point of building something if you can't protect it? That's what Edward's daughter gently explained as they sat together, planning his recovery. She said, "Dad, Amla woke up your collagen factory, but now we need guards to protect what you're rebuilding." That's where black raspberries come in. Unlike the more common red raspberries, black raspberries are richer in a powerful group of compounds called anthocyanins, natural pigments that do far more than give them their deep, dark color. Inside Edward's aging joints, years of tiny inflammations had quietly chipped away at his cartilage. Enzymes called MMPs, matrix metalloproteinases, had been slowly breaking down the collagen his body struggled to maintain. But black raspberries act like a shield. Studies show that their anthocyanins help block these destructive enzymes, allowing his joints and tendons to heal, instead of continually eroding. Within a few weeks of adding just a small handful of these berries to his morning yogurt, Edward noticed something. The tight, pulling sensation in his knees after standing eased. The strange buzzing in his calves became less frequent. And perhaps most encouraging, he no longer feared walking across his sloped driveway. Black raspberries don't rebuild collagen directly, but they protect what's already there, ensuring that every bit of healing triggered by Amla remains intact. But to truly push nutrients deep into his legs and arms, Edward needed the next fruit, a fruit that works like nature's delivery truck. Even the best materials are useless if they can't reach the construction site. That's what Edward learned next. While Amla reactivated his collagen factory and black raspberries stood guard, there was still a missing link: circulation. At 72, Edward often felt a strange coldness in his feet, especially at night. His doctor called it poor peripheral circulation, a common problem for seniors. This is where blueberries became his quiet ally. Blueberries don't just provide antioxidants, they help open the tiny blood vessels that deliver nutrients into your legs, knees, and fingertips. Scientists call this process microcirculation. A study from the University of Florida found that seniors who drank blueberry smoothies daily for 8 weeks experienced a 21% increase in peripheral blood flow. For Edward, this meant nutrients from Amla and black raspberries finally reached the fragile tissues that needed repair. But there's more. Blueberries contain unique anthocyanins that activate an important molecule called nitric oxide, nature's vasodilator. This gently relaxes blood vessels, allowing better blood flow, critical for restoring weakened muscles and tingling nerves. Edward noticed that after just a few weeks, the numbness in his toes faded, his balance improved when standing up from the couch, and walks around his garden no longer leaving him winded. The nutrients had found their highway. But now, it was time to rebuild the scaffolding and lay down the new collagen fibers to strengthen his muscles and joints. And that leads us to the next fruit. Once the raw materials arrive, it's time for the builders to get to work. Edward was finally seeing progress. His hands tingled less, his feet felt warmer, and he stood with more confidence. But his daughter explained, "Dad, now we need to help your body actually build new collagen, not just preserve the old." That's where strawberries became the next piece of the puzzle. Unlike other fruits, strawberries offer a rare combination. They're rich in vitamin C, critical for collagen synthesis, and manganese, a trace mineral many seniors unknowingly lack. Manganese serves as a key cofactor for collagen-producing enzymes. Without enough manganese, your body struggles to form the triple helix structure of collagen fibers. These very ropes hold your joints, tendons, and muscles together. In one study from the University of Oklahoma, adults over 60 who added strawberries to their daily diet for just 6 weeks saw reduced knee pain while walking, longer standing balance, improving from 10 to nearly 17 minutes. Adding a handful of fresh strawberries to his breakfast felt simple for Edward, but the results were profound. The tight, wobbly feeling in his thighs softened. The sharp knee twinges after rising from his recliner nearly disappeared. Even better, strawberries' natural quercetin and camphorol compounds worked quietly to reduce low-grade inflammation, allowing the new collagen to form in a stable, supportive environment. But sometimes rebuilding requires more than just laying bricks. It needs someone to clear out old, damaged materials first. And that's precisely what Edward discovered with the next fruit. Sometimes the old must be cleared away before new growth can happen. Edward's daughter noticed something. While his pain improved, there was still stiffness, a kind of tightness in his knees, especially when bending or climbing stairs. "Dad," she said softly, "it's like your joints are holding on to old damage that needs to be swept clean." That's where papaya became a decisive next step. Unlike the previous fruits, papaya brings a special helper, an enzyme called papain. This remarkable enzyme breaks down excess proteins, particularly the hardened, scar-like tissues that build up around aging joints over time. As we age, tiny micro-tears in joints often heal imperfectly, leaving behind stiff, fibrous tissue that limits movement. Papain helps gently dissolve these buildups, allowing space for fresh, flexible collagen to form. A 2009 study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that papain improves the absorption of key amino acids, proline and glycine, which serve as the backbone for collagen synthesis. For Edward, incorporating a few slices of fresh papaya into his midday snack created noticeable changes. His knees bent more freely. Standing from his favorite chair, he no longer needed to brace both arms, and the tight, locked sensation when descending stairs softened. Papaya also brought digestive relief, something many seniors quietly struggle with as weakened digestion prevents complete nutrient absorption. But Edward's journey wasn't over yet. While clearing out the old is vital, fighting silent inflammation, the invisible fire behind weak legs and stiff joints, was the next critical battle. And that's where the next fruit took center stage. Sometimes it's not the damage you see, the silent swelling you don't, that causes the most trouble. Even as Edward's joints loosened and his muscles grew stronger, he still faced unpredictable flare-ups. His knees would swell after long walks, and his calves felt heavy after standing too long. "Dad," his daughter explained, "this is inflammation at work, quiet but persistent, and we need something that calms that fire down." Enter pineapple, nature's gentle firefighter. Inside every fresh slice of pineapple lies bromelain, a powerful enzyme studied for decades for its anti-inflammatory effects. Unlike many over-the-counter medications, bromelain works without the side effects that often trouble seniors, like upset stomachs or blood pressure spikes. A study published in Alternative Medicine Review, 2001, found that patients who took bromelain daily experienced up to a 41% reduction in joint pain and swelling, especially in weight-bearing joints like knees and hips. For Edward, adding a small bowl of fresh pineapple to his afternoon snack routine brought noticeable relief. Less swelling after his daily walks, more effortless movement in the mornings, and importantly, fewer nights spent rubbing sore calves before bed. Pineapple also helped behind the scenes, breaking down fibrin buildup in his bloodstream, improving circulation and reducing that heavy, dragging feeling many seniors know too well. But while pineapple helped quiet the inflammation, Edward still needed to fuel the deeper repair work, rebuilding the very framework of collagen that supports his legs and hands. And for that, a surprisingly powerful but often overlooked fruit would become his next ally. Sometimes the most powerful helpers sit quietly, unnoticed, right before us. Edward had never paid much attention to guava. To him, it was simply that exotic fruit he occasionally saw at the farmer's market, sitting quietly between apples and oranges. But his daughter smiled one afternoon and said, "Dad, this little fruit might be the secret weapon your joints have been waiting for." Why? Because guava holds one of the highest concentrations of natural vitamin C in the fruit world, often 2 to 3 times higher than oranges. And when it comes to collagen production, vitamin C is the master builder. But guava goes beyond just vitamin C. It's rich in quercetin, a powerful plant compound that directly targets inflammatory enzymes like COX-2, enzymes that fuel joint pain, morning stiffness, and the dull ache that had haunted Edward's knees for years. A 2012 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who added guava to their daily diet for 6 weeks experienced a 24% increase in collagen density, reduced morning joint stiffness, and improved walking performance. For Edward, incorporating guava became both enjoyable and straightforward. A few slices blended into his morning smoothie, alongside pineapple and papaya, created a nutrient-rich powerhouse. Within weeks, his legs felt steadier when rising from bed. The shaky sensation that once made him hesitate before walking down his porch steps slowly faded. But while guava fueled the building process, one final key was still missing. The part that helps his body absorb, activate, and fully utilize all the collagen being created. And for that, Edward turned to one last fruit. You can give your body all the right ingredients, but without absorption, they're just sitting there, waiting. Edward was doing nearly everything now, feeding his body with vitamin C, enzymes, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. Yet his daughter gently reminded him, "Dad, this final piece helps your body not just receive, but actually use all that nutrition." That's where Kiwi entered his routine. Kiwi may seem simple, but inside it carries a unique enzyme called actinidin, a powerful natural digestive aid. Actinidin breaks down complex proteins into smaller peptides, making them far easier for the intestines to absorb and convert into new collagen. A 2010 study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who added kiwi to their meals increased collagen peptide absorption by 27% in just 2 weeks. For Edward, adding 1 kiwi in the morning, often blended into his guava smoothie, made a quiet but profound difference. The heaviness in his legs after sitting for long periods eased. That unsettling rubber leg feeling while climbing stairs grew rare, and his nighttime leg cramps nearly vanished altogether. But kiwi's work went even deeper. Its rich blend of vitamin E, lutein, potassium, and soluble fiber supported Edward's circulation, regulated his blood pressure, and kept his digestion smooth, all vital as the body rebuilds its structural foundation. At last, with all 8 fruits working together, Edward's body wasn't simply managing age. It was actively restoring strength, balance, and confidence. But perhaps the most inspiring part was still ahead. The story of how Edward turned this simple change into something far greater. Sometimes the most significant victories don't come from medicine cabinets, but from our quiet choices at the kitchen table. 3 months after Edward started his collagen recovery journey, something beautiful happened. One morning, while his daughter visited, Edward stood up from his chair without using his arms for support. No deep breath, no hesitation, just steady legs, ready to carry him forward. From struggling to climb a few stairs, to walking 2 miles around his neighborhood park each morning. From fearing nighttime leg cramps, to sleeping peacefully through the night. And it wasn't because of some expensive supplement or complicated treatment. It was the simple, quiet power of nature. 8 fruits, each playing its role. Amla awakened his collagen system. Black raspberries shielded his joints. Blueberries opened the highways of circulation. Strawberries laid the scaffolding. Papaya cleared the old damage. Pineapple tamed the inflammation. Guava supercharged collagen production. And Kiwi unlocked complete absorption. Edward often says now, "I didn't turn back time. I simply gave my body what it was missing all along." And you can too. If you found this video helpful, leave us a comment below. Which of these fruits do you already enjoy? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.